Okay, hi, welcome to Canada Season 10. I believe we started. Yeah, we have, if it's a minute in. Yeah, I crashed right before this, so I wasn't really sure if we started or not. I wasn't quite sure what was happening. But this season, it's random team of three with, with Soul Brothers. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's, um, it's Soul Brothers secret teams, but you don't know your team until it's secret teams, including your own team. So you don't know your team until the final world. So right now I'm a solo. I'm gonna be a solo for the first 50 minutes. I'm probably just gonna cave within that time because I don't want to die and like kind of like let down my team. That makes sense. So I I'll get a sugarcane over there before APAS does. So I'm not with APAS. So basically, because it's Soul Brothers, anyone who is in my world is not on my team. So I'm not on a team with APAS because my two teammates are in different worlds. So that's because if one of my teammates was in the same world as me, I don't know who's on my team, so I might like kill them. So that's why. And there's 11 people per world, so 11 teams of 3. They're fully random. They were done right before the round. And yeah, that's basically it. Also, it's in the first world, it's bleeding sweets, so people PvP. I still think bleeding sweet, like I understand why like having bleeding sweets in the first world to encourage PvP, but like really early on. But I think that caving is much more beneficial because there's not a risk of you dying, and on top of that, in the time that it takes to surface and find someone, you will probably cave for like at least equivalent to 1 diamond or and 5 gold. And uh yeah. So I personally don't think it's worth it, but I can see why other people might do it. Because they might not have like kills in the round or something, and they just want to get like because it's kind of easier killing someone in the FFA world. Because in the team of 3 world, like your team, like I don't know, it's kind of harder because 3v3s, your teammates can get the kills. FFA, you're the only one that can get a kill. If that makes any sense. But yeah, it's what I'm gonna be doing. Oh, sleeping's been 40 already. What I'm gonna be doing is caving. I'm not I'm not sure if I should get enchants, but judging by my start, I think I might because I do have the capability of making 8 books. So I'm just gonna kill this donkey and get enough leather for it, and then just throw out my excess stuff because I don't think I'm gonna be needing more than 8 books. So if I find diamonds really early on, I'll probably make enchants. But if I find diamonds and that's just so I can get levels really fast because I'll enchant everything and then it'll be easier to rack up levels again. But if I find diamonds and then uh, and then like later on where I already have a lot of levels, I'm probably just gonna make it into diamond armor because it's like in a short amount of time I'll get TP'd into the world. And I'd say there's a pretty good chance that at least one of your two teammates have enchants unless it's unless they're thinking the same way as you, which is always possible. So I might save diamonds, actually, the more I think about it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to run closer to the border looking for chickens, because it is double areas, so there's not too big of it, like, pressure, there's not too much pressure to get chickens. But I do want to get apples, so I'm going to run towards the corner, because like I said, I don't really want to PvP in the first world, because I want to get to the second world first. So, yeah. Uh, Hopefully there's a forest. I am not quite sure how big the map is. I think it's either 750 radius or 1k radius. I can see it being 750 because there's only 11 people per world. So it's going to be pretty difficult to find someone if it's 1k radius. I've seen in past recorded, I'm pretty sure when Soul Brothers was done in Cataclysm season, I got some chickens, that's good. In Cataclysm Season 5, the world radius was 500, and it was a pretty small map and tough to get stuff, so I'm pretty sure that's why they expanded it. But other than that, I should be good to go. I got a pretty good start book-wise. I just need to get some apples and chickens. My plan for this round is I'm just going to see what my team is. Oh, there's some cut trees over there. I'll see if I can pick up some apples. I want to see who my team is first, and then kind of go about it, because I usually play differently depending on who my teammates are. So I'm just going to try to cave for as much as I can. Like I said, probably won't make enchants depending on how fast I find the diamonds. And then go from there with my teammates. But I do want to find who cut down these trees, because that will narrow it down. Oh, it's Tanner, okay. So that will narrow down who I could be teamed with. And so I'm definitely not with APAS or Tanner. Okay, yeah, I got 2 apples from that. So that means that also means that I know that they're not on the same team. So actually, I don't know, because in the final world, you're either put on teams that everyone can see, or you just know your own team, and it's like secret teams. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what it is, but either that cave looks pretty good. I'll probably just chop down some trees around here. It is pretty close to Tanner, but if I get down fast, I can probably get here pretty fast. But like I said, if it is secret teams, then that also gives me information that APAS and Tanner are definitely also not on a team, because they're both in my world. Which is fairly helpful. I don't think it changes too much, because when you know who you're fighting, like when you see someone, you know who you're fighting. So if I see like Tanner, Sir, and Sam, like obviously I already know who we team with, and my knowledge of Tanner is not with APAS won't be too beneficial there. And like I said, it could be the circumstance where when we're put into the final world, we're just automatically put on teams. I'm not quite sure what it is. So I'm just going to go along with whatever happens there. This is a fairly large season as well. I'm pretty sure the last season was 32 people. This season's 33 people, so around the same. But last season, the meetup went on for a pretty long time due to it being fairly big teams, and I don't think that will affect this season too much, just because it is one team size smaller. But you never really know. It really just depends on how people cave. If many teams cave really well, we can see the meetup going on for even longer than last season. Especially if it's closer, because if it's more of like a landslide, the team with more gear will be able to like push and play aggressively. Whereas in last season, every team kind of ran out of healing around at the same time, and they all had to play defensively. So in this round, my usual goal for Kata is to get 1 kill. But I'm going to see if neither of my teammates have kills in the round. So let's say I'm teamed with like Lake or like Zeprix or Sam. Like none of them have kills in the round. So I'll probably just try to get them kills instead of like taking the kills for myself, because I do already have the most kills and I'd rather see someone else get kills. So, but again, a lot of it depends on my teammates, which I'll be finding out in about 40 minutes from now. I believe it is 2.5 episodes in, so 50 minutes. With record rounds is kind of weird, because I do play a lot of public games, and I'll usually surface somewhat early. Not like rush in a sense, but like surface pretty early. So recorded rounds are pretty contrasting in that, because if you surface early in recorded round, you basically forfeit any chance of winning, unless you get a lot of gear fast and run into teams. Because usually in recorded rounds, people will not PvP early, and if someone does PvP early, it will probably be a single team, and you don't really have anyone to fight if it's just a single team. So I don't think people are going to PvP early in this world. I can see people going directly to PvP in the next world. I think I might discuss with my team after we're all enchanted and split everything. I think I might discuss with them if we should go hunting immediately to pick off teams, or if we should go back caving to get more gear for later. And that's just something, like, again, I'll have to base off of how the game plays out. Let's see. The health is looking. Everyone's on good health except for like Trevor, Benny, and sleeping. Sleeping is pretty low at the moment, but health isn't too big of a deal at this point. That's only 3 gaps, which you can cave for fairly easily. So I'm sure by the time he's in the final world, he'll be at full health. This is the first season hosted on Arctic as well, so the ping is a bit different than prior seasons, like the past 4 seasons, which have all been hosted on Harvard. So I do get a bit higher ping, probably like 20 more MS, which doesn't impact me too much, but it can impact other people, because I know Sam does get a lot of connection issues to the server, because it is more, it is farther west than the Harvard server. There is a skeleton there with an enchanted bow. I'll just drop that. You don't want to be hit by this thing. Did not drop it. That's unfortunate. I can't remember the last time the skeleton dropped an enchanted bow for me. I do remember a time where it dropped a flame bow, which is pretty nice. But that was also for some reason that server had a ton of skeletons with enchanted bows, and I don't know why that was. I don't know how they changed that. But yeah, I don't even know if it was intentional. So the more I think about it, like, I highly suspect that everyone will make it into the last world unless there is a cave fight, because as I said before, to early hunt, there has to, like, one person has to choose to early hunt, and not only that, there has to be someone else that's early hunting. And because of the nature of Soul Brothers, there can be 3 people early hunting, but they'll never run into each other because they're in different worlds. So that is probably going to affect it, because people just won't run into each other. And Nathan is lagging, so is Trevor and Brody, which is expected. I don't plan on meleeing in this round. I'll most likely stick to bow unless it's absolute, like, melee is kind of like a last resort for me. In public games, I'll usually attempt to melee more than I normally do. I rely way more on bow than I do melee. But I'll usually melee the worst players that I know I can beat, and in the majority of this round, I know I cannot beat them in melee. So I'll probably just stick to bow because it's a lot less risky for someone like me that I think I'm definitely more confident with bow than I am at melee. Looks like I have a nice ravine here. If I get diamonds before the first episode, I'd say, so 6 minutes. If I get diamonds before then, I will probably make a table. I'm not going to grab an anvil just yet, because I already have a bit of extra iron for picks. Okay, so there's an enderman here. Pearls are incredibly useful. I don't know how much damage they do. I'll check UHC after I kill this one, if I get a pearl or not. I did not get one, but I'm just going to check anyways. Pearl damage is 1 heart. Okay. Yeah, pearl damage. I think it's kind of dumb having pearl damage off because it is practically a free teleport. And if you get to teleport, or like, ender pearl to a team with a lot less diamond armor and you have like a stronger sword, you can drop them pretty fast and gain a lot of healing. All because you found a mob, which I think is pretty stupid. So I do think it is more balanced with ender pearls doing 1 heart, because it does give the victim, or I guess you could call it the victim, but I guess the person that's being pearled on, it gives them a bit more of a chance that they wouldn't have otherwise if ender pearl damage was off. Ender pearl damage is also something that I thought should always be on for a while. A couple years, like I'd say around like 2015, 2014, it was never hosted on, like, with ender pearl damage on. I'd say what really changed that was Cyberg, because in the original UHC plugin, there were very few configurations, and one of them being like Death Lightning, one of them being like if potions were nerfed, which also, potion nerfs also included absorption. And if you, so most people had ender pearl damage off. I can't really think of many servers in 2014 or 2015 that had ender pearl damage on. Which made sense for that time, because melee wasn't really too common, and people also had a lot less healing because it was 1.7, and before people knew how to really properly cave efficiently. But now that people know what they're doing with caving, it does get a lot trickier, because there can easily be a solo at meetup that just has no kills and 12 gaps, because they just know what they're doing. So if ender pearls do no damage, you just get a ton of stuff for free, because usually, like, they won't do too much damage back as long as you're snowballing and you have like multiple pieces of diamond armor. But yeah, that's just what I think about it. I do think ender pearls are good at 1.5 hearts. I'm not quite sure if C counter is allowed, but I'm just gonna go with it for now, because I doubt they'll disallow it. At least I didn't read anything about it. And that's actually, I don't know if this is gonna, okay, that's the ravine where there's 120. This over here is not the ravine where there's like 50. Alright. Oh wait, I cannot roller coaster, I forgot about that. Or I cannot strip mine. I'm used to normal Arctic where you can, so I'm just gonna start roller coastering. A couple more people have taken damage. I've never gotten Iron Man in a recorded round. So I say this basically every round I'm in, but like it would be nice to get it, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to get it. Okay, yeah, I found the cave. This is where I believe all the air blocks were. I sadly don't have any gold or diamonds, and it's already 18 minutes in, so that's not too good, but it's kind of early. Oh, well, I found a diamond level mineshaft then. This is very useful. I might make enchants then, because diamond level mineshafts will commonly have many veins of redstone, so I might go for power 4 before I get to the second world if I do find diamonds. Because power 4 really is not that hard to get, and because I'm probably going to be focusing more on bow, it would be pretty cool to have power 4 before I meet up with my team. But I only have like a half an hour before that happens, so I'll just see what exactly goes on, and if there is a lot to this mineshaft. Because, again, I could just, like, not find any diamonds, which is very possible. But I am happy to have a mineshaft. I'm going to grab extra string for my team just in case they don't get any. And, yeah, that's I'll go from there. This is also Soul Brothers, so all the worlds are the same. So someone in another world could also be in this mineshaft. What I kind of like about this game mode with Soul Brothers is I like Soul Brothers. I like it as a scenario. But I think a major flaw in it is that if you find like an enchanted book or find like a ton of diamonds in the cave, you can instruct your teammate to go to those cords and find the same book or the same diamonds. And I think that's kind of stupid. I do like that the final world is different. That is a good part. But that's always been a part of Soul Brothers. It seems like the mine shaft went above diamond level, which kind of sucks because it's like hovering directly above it. So hopefully I'll find like a little passageway that goes down. Let's get this lapis. Okay, yeah, C counter is allowed. That's why I suspected. Like, I can't see why they would disallow it. Where's this go? Okay, nothing there. It would be pretty cool to get an enchanted book from. Okay, the end of episode. See you guys in the next one.